So I wanted to call this magic measurements, but magic takes something that is unreal and makes it believable. But magic also has positive connotations. And I wanted something a lot more sinister. So I call it Voodoo Measurement. Because what Voodoo Measurement is the idea of taking a metric that appears to be precise, but it's fraught with inaccuracies. And so just think about a scale that has random numbers on it, and you're looking at it, how would that affect your fitness, your health, your sanity? And that's what happens about the high-stakes test here in America. That we have voodoo measures telling us and making both students and teachers very frustrated. Instead, we need accurate measurements that we really value, that really capture the kind of learning and that we value so much in our country. And just compare that to like the SAT that is supposed to predict whether or not kids graduate from college. But in fact, decades of data show that in fact that doesn't happen at all, and that there is no correlation, but we keep giving it. And our math tests across our country is fraught with multiple choice and machine scored items that only measure low-level skills and skills that are done by machines in real life. Instead, we need to be preparing our students and measuring our students to really be economically viable, to be able to think about and make intelligent decisions about our government. And it also affects instruction. WYTI, WTG, what you test is what you get. And so how are we expecting to have high-level instruction? Instead, we should turn to an international model. But in fact, those tests are expensive and they require human scoring when we can just go to Walmart. And we have to change our priorities here in America, because our priorities on tests are that they're frequent, they're cheap, and that they're reliable, but not valid. All we want is a number to compare students. So we have to also think about the difference between reliability and validity. Reliability sounds good, but all it means is that if you take a test twice, they want you to get the same score. It has nothing to do about its value. Think about that in terms of an arrest. Do you want an unreliable witness, or do you want actual evidence from the lab, maybe DNA or a video? So another real challenge of our current tests is this idea that tests are now all had to be taken on computer. And we know how much different that is in terms of the percentage of kids who do well on one test versus the other. We need to do what the highest performing countries in the world do, and that is invest in really good tests. But really good tests cost money. And the way they do it in other countries is they only test 1 or 2 times in a whole student's career. And that's how they save money. Here in America, we weigh the pig. We never feed it for the fair. And so look at all those tests that we give over and over and over again. The other thing is we undervalue our own teachers in terms of their ability to assess what really matters. The rest of the world uses their teachers to evaluate real learning in their classrooms. So we have to shift away from this idea of poor tests to really valuable tests that give us really information, that gives us feedback to help us teach our students better. So look at this range of tests that we have. Those are voodoo measurements. We need valid measurements.